TY, Special, Curious, SOS.
GSL Code S. It's been a wet and wild day here at the GSL studios. TY vs. Specials was sick. SOS vs. Curious was sick. SOS vs. TY was sick. And now we have Special vs. Curious. Will the sickness continue?
I mean, two words that definitely describe today's games, Artos, is Special and Curious, especially after that last series. TY getting dropped down to play in these loser matches. I don't know if he's going to make it out. Special, we saw him show such sick games against him earlier, and I think beating Curious is definitely doable.
Yeah, I would agree. And the way that he played against TY before, this is not unwinnable. Is it TY favored? Yes. But it is not 100% that he's not going to make it out of here, which is a crazy thing to say because TY is, like, in my opinion, the best player. So,
well, he's going to have to settle for second best today as
Possibly.
SOS is already out of there. Coming up next in this series, Curious will have to face Special on Whirlwind. So we'll start it off with a very large map. Yes. I am curious to see how Special will play today.
Yeah, I do wonder. I think that we're going to see one or two mech games at least tonight. He's very good at mech vs. Zerg, and it's becoming all the rage, so we'll see.
You could tell them that you tried, but there ain't no going back. They'll never catch
me. In the bottom right, in the blue, in the Zerg, he is
Curious.
Doesn't want another disappointing run in GSL.
Nope, he's failed to get past the round of 32 so many times.
Yeah.
His opponent trying to stop him.
Special.
Yeah, the final four in hope, and perhaps the strongest. Lots of cheers and claps from the crowd.
Yeah.
A lot of fans behind this guy.
Easily one of the best foreigners out there. And hopefully he does do well. This is a hard group to even decide who to cheer for, right? You got two-time world champion, one of the most entertaining players in the world, SOS. You got possibly the smartest player in the world, TY, and you got a foreigner in it, someone who's been around for an extremely long time in Special.
So a little bit of everything.
And then you have poor Curious, which is like, feels bad because he's been around forever. He's a very good player. He's a very nice guy. But do you expect him to get out of this group? Not as much.
I would say he is least likely, but not unlikely. And in fact, any one of these players is just one of the best players at their race in the world. So it's easy to forget that. Yeah. But level is, has been being stepped up everywhere. Oh, past future participle. Ugh, feels good. But for this game especially, I would expect Special to have a small advantage. But it's all about what his strategy is going to be. Both players remain unscouted to the other. So pretty standard. No Mass Reapers.
No.
None of those memes.
I don't think we'll see that from Special, to be honest. It's not really his style so much to just start and focus on micro. Not that he won't do it. I mean, this guy is capable, but I don't know. I feel like going up against Curious, he's going to want to play something like a mech style. And in fact, he plays mech closer to Gumiho than most people do. And in fact, it was funny. The first time he did it was before Gumiho had debuted on like GSL or anything. The way that he plays mech with the like Thors and Medivacs and the Mass Vikings and stuff. And Special came pretty close to doing like the same thing. It was like it was pretty reasonably close. And so I actually talked to him about it. I'm like, oh wow, yeah, you do it just like Gumiho. He's like, Gumiho does this? I was like, oh wow, yeah, no, he does. He did it against Cyril in Take's little tournament. And
yeah.
He's like, oh wow, that's good. Yeah, it's good. So anyways, we'll see where he goes with this. I mean, you can mech on this map. It's not as popular sometimes, just because it is a big map. But we will see. Speed for Overlords here for Curious.
Speed for Zerglings as well. Sometimes we also get the other two speeds, where it's Baneling speed and Hydra speed.
What about Roach speed? Do you ever see that one?
Well, when I see roaches, yeah, but we haven't seen roaches today.
Well, what about Overseer speed?
You know, I feel like eventually in StarCraft 3 they'll make that.
What about Corruptor speed? That just came with a new patch.
Oh, yeah. It also came at the cost of like half their damage. Every time I see like 18 Corruptors move forward and not one-shot a Viking, I'm just like, something strange there. But then they come in twice as fast and make it happen again. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess it works.
Well, Roach Warren on the way here. Of course, we don't know exactly where SpeCIaL is going to be going with this. He's getting Cloak. He's continuing to make Hellions.
Cool little bounce back there on the KD8 charge to get a couple of extra shots off there on the Queen. Now more Hellions pressing forward. One of those Queens is kind of low, but they should have transfused energy in time. Most annoying Marine there, trying to push out the Speed Overlord.
Medevac on the way, so looks like he could be picking up some units here. Armory coming up. This could just be for Hellbats. We don't know for sure if he's going mech yet. I mean, we don't have Stim started yet, so that's definitely something.
Yeah, what is the next step? We do finally have Roaches, but Roaches versus Cloak Banshee. No Spore Colonies up just yet either. So, oh, look at that control. The chain drops on those Hellions. Oh my god, moving the one that's not being targeted. Oh!
Super well done so far by SpeCIaL. Going after the drones now. Curious in a bit of trouble.
Oh my god, already 7 going down. More to fall. 8 now out of there, and he saves 3.
Yeah, as the armory's about to finish, so even Hellbat mode
if
can
he loses
occur.
all of these, that will not be the greatest. He's going to lose the medevac, but I think he did that at the cost of trying to get extra shots off. No! Okay. Saves it, just barely.
Definitely quite a mistake there, but the drone kills continue. Another Banshee on the way, as well as a Siege Tank. 3rd Command Center coming up. I think this is going to be mech, right? Like, well, he starts a couple Marines. Hard to say still. Haven't seen an eBay, haven't seen Stim, haven't seen additional factories or upgrades in that armory.
Another Banshee on the way as well, so going to look for those one-shots. But yeah, there we go. More bio in production, double engineering bay as well. So coming in here trying to get these lions on the probe, or on the drones rather. They are lining up, but deciding to save the Hellions instead of letting them die.
You know, this is a very late declaration of bio play. And I got to ask him a little bit later if he decided this in-game, because like if you kill this many drones and go into bio, you have a more immediate kill timing.
Right.
If you kill a bunch of drones and go into mech, sometimes you can kill them, but they have a little bit longer to recover because mech timings generally don't move out quite as quickly. So, I don't know, just something in the back of my mind here.
+1/+1 on the way. Double engineering bay is, of course, already completed, but now double Evo chamber is about to finish up there as well for Curious. So we've successfully finished the first stage of the game, and now we're kind of looking forward towards the mid-game upgrades coming out. Creep brings spread. Cloak Banshees. Cloak Bansheeing.
Not really finding very much damage with these Banshees there. Almost losing one of them. Just slightly sloppy with his Banshees being sent over, being caught multiple times now.
And a perfect scout on this 3rd base as SpeCIaL floats it out. Now, we are seeing more and more Roaches being produced, so the army count growing for both players as all of those reactors finish on SpeCIAL's barracks. We will be able to pump up the Marine count.
Now, Infestation Pit is on the way. Is this to add in some infestors right now for this type of army that we see sometimes? Is he going to rush to Ultras? It could be both, of course, as well, especially considering we see that melee upgrade. Ultras definitely can be something in the future because of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, getting +1/+1 and Burrow at the same time. I remember when Ultralisk had that, what was it, Burrow charge?
Oh, God.
You had to get.
It would have been so fun.
Unbelievably broken. Oh, my God.
I never actually saw it used.
Yeah, I saw a video of it.
In the beta for like a day or two or something.
It was insane. It's like Zealot charge, but for Ultralisks.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's underground, so what do you do?
What about Burrow movement for Banelings? That was a great idea.
Who was it? I think it was like, what is it, Fear Dragon, and the idea for like burrowed pylons? Maybe that was you. I don't remember, but equally terrible. Burrowing anything except roaches and having them move around turns out to just be a terrible idea.
Even the Infestor?
I don't know. I really like that. I wish more players did it.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely going to see a bit of it this game.
Yeah, Burrowed Infestors on the way.
I like that he continues to utilize these Banshees, like flying back, heal them up,
kind of
back
a theme. Out. We saw TY do that special previous series and this one.
No need to waste a Banshee. It's a useful unit.
Now, we did get a chance to see a hyper, ultra, mega ZVT late game last night in Home Story Cup. I think it was Daishi versus somebody. I forget who it was. Risky, I think it was. Yeah, Daishi versus Risky. Or, TVZ went hyper, ultra, mega late game. And in the interview afterwards, Daishi was just like, yeah, you just can't play against Terran late game because Ravens are just too long, or too good, and the idea that your workers are now energy-based so you can just have more supply. It's just too good. So that was his opinion. I've definitely seen a lot of Zergs make Zerg late game look extremely strong, so it looks like we're going that way. I mean, we're just piling on the upgrades. 2-2 up here for both players. Mech upgrades beginning to be started. Bio being fleshed out, and pretty even. Look at that, 90 or almost 100 army supply here for both players pre-10 minutes.
Yeah, indeed. Curious's creep spread looking pretty good here as well. Just continuing to drop is SpeCIaL. Ultralisk Cavern on the way, and really great upgrades. So, you know, SpeCIaL, it's not like he's doing poorly. He killed some good drones early on and everything. He's trying to do some harassment. But the fact that it looks like Curious is going to get into Ultras without an attack being on his doorstep makes me a bit scared for SpeCIaL.
Well, anytime I see a Zerg player just be left to his own devices, it just gets out of control. So it'll be pretty rough here for SpeCIaL in a while. Sick fungal. Something about sandwiches, I don't know. No, it looked good early on. He got a lot of early drone kills, but then SpeCIaL just kind of retreated. It was like, okay, I'm in a good spot. But I mean, Zerg can just get up there. He's already banking 1,000 minerals, 1,000 gas. Gonna be a lot of ultras here pretty soon. Chitinous just now started.
All right, 2-2 about to finish for him as well. Really on top of those upgrades. Of course, we see a high amount of tech being made by SpeCIaL still. He's making Liberators, he's making Siege Tanks, so both these will do pretty well overall, but, you know, I feel like as Curious continues to creep, spread, and move up north, you're just a bit immobile with this set of units as Terran.
There's a sick fungal. It's going to take out pretty much everything that did get locked down. There's a counterattack force of roaches, I believe, going forward, but it is going to run into siege tanks and sieged tanks and be taken out there. So nothing really stopping. SpeCIaL is getting a fourth base up behind this, continuing to push in here and limit the creep spread.
This is hard for him to move in against. Needs to utilize those siege tanks and everything. Oh, very good fungal.
There it is. Yeah, you can tell he was throwing that ahead of where the Marines would have gone. So getting in there and little by little. Because of how early he built these infestors, not interceptors, he has tons of energy, and as these ultras come out, that is what really is just going to power through.
Oh, I love this single Banshee coming up. You have to use a fungal to make sure you kill that off. Oh my god, that fungal's so sick! Killing a ton of medevacs right there, and ultras are out now.
What's going to kill this Banshee? Oh, look at that. He's having to run everything away from the Banshee. I think that's a little bit maybe too much respect. Ultras being powered down by the bio. They are getting a decent amount of damage done, but anything you can limit before this +3 finishes, going to be good.
Dude, the Banshee just having the most insane value right
tanks.
now. God, just wild. Without any flying units here for Curious, having a bit of a hard time.
Yeah, he doesn't even have any corruptors, any anti-air on the way. So aside from landing fungals or corrosive biles randomly, those things are just going to kill everything.
God, Curious really had like a lot of stuff too. It's just nothing is really quite going right for him here.
God.
Even with his ultras out, they're 2-2 with chitinous plating, and they're being picked off left and right.
Well, the Banshee could just kill it by itself if you give it enough time. And yeah, there's no anti-air aside from Queens. These Liberators are doing a great job of keeping the ultras and the rest of his forces off. And just it becomes time at some point to look at the supply and see how good it is for SpeCIaL here. Another fungal coming out, catches the medevacs, but only a couple of them dropping, and SpeCIAL's forces survive.
Yeah, continuing the siege tank push forward. There's no way to engage that.
GG, SpeCIaL. So good.
Yeah, that was really good by SpeCIaL. I felt like there was something slightly lacking by what Curious was doing. We didn't really see any counterattacks during that push. That was kind of all out. we didn't see any anti-air. Like, he did not even have queens up with his ultras that could have helped out against the Banshee slightly. I mean, I don't want to be too critical of him. That was a tough one, but yeah.
A lot of things that also just worked out really, really well for SpeCIaL. He got a lot of damage done early on, limited the early drone count, and that let him get his army up and into a great position that ultimately Curious was unable to really ever break. So you can tell he's learned a lot from his mentor, TY. He's got him on his hat. And now I think we're about to see SpeCIaL potentially move into that final match. Curious, he's been the gatekeeper of Code A for so long, but here in Code S, he might be gate-kept again. Out of here in the round of 32. Certainly will be looking to move on, but it's a tough road ahead against the Mexican Terran SpeCIaL, and our next map is Abyssal Reef.
Well, I hope he is truly a Mexican player here on this map.
Oh my God!
Because it is a great map to go mech on.
Why, God, why? How did I not think of that ahead of time? Oh, you're so funny, Artosis. Well, here we go. Could be our final game of this series. Curious needs to bring it back. SpeCIaL, one game away from advancing on to our last game of the night.
But there ain't no going back.
Here we go, our blue Zerg player.
Curious.
There he is, very pensive.
Mm-hmm. His friend Leenock coming tonight to support.
Yeah, helping him out.
SpeCIaL
is his opponent. Some big cheers from the audience as well. And here we go. So SpeCIaL had a great strat early on. He just sort of chipped away with a couple of Hellions, then brought in 4, ran through, and killed a ton of drones. So see if he goes for the same style. Every TVZ I see without Mass Reapers is another one I get to sort of watch play out the way it quote-unquote should be.
Well, will this play out quote-unquote how it should be? Because Curious is going like gas and pool before his hatch. So that can be a defensive play, of course, like Dark opens macro like that.
Right.
This can be just maybe he's fearing a 3x Reaper incoming from SpeCIaL as well.
Yeah, it depends on how much he's studied SpeCIaL, because I see him not proxy raxing, not doing all this wacky stuff, and that seems standard to me. But if Curious is used to just playing TVZ against the ladder or against his practice opponents, that's going to be still a pretty common strategy. So he might expect that, even though it's not likely. It'll be interesting if he commits to this rush and just goes super hard, whether or not SpeCIaL can hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he will. I think it's more of just kind of a let's take a more defensive route type of play. Sometimes you'll see, like, for instance, these 2 Zerglings might come out and go around waiting for the Reaper leave to slow down the command center. That's definitely, while that reactor's building, it forces the Reaper home and slows things. So moves like that are pretty cool. Wouldn't be surprised to see that at least. Yeah, and they're running around, not within Reaper path, so no big surprise there. If you go for the early pool, this makes a lot of sense.
And there are more drones on the way, finally.
Oh.
So. Okay.
You see that Reaper, actually?
Pulls back immediately. He's like, oh, no.
He didn't see the lanes, but he's kind of scouting for everything that could occur here.
Making sure there's no proxy hatchery. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
Crazier
there are
things have
proxy
happened.
hatch builds. He lives in the same house as No Regrets, so he's aware of them.
That is true. You always have to. Also, Scarlet, who was proxy hatching quite a bit there for a while. But
certainly. She's
got Bly as her teammate, so I'm sure it just sort of rubs off on you after a while.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, but nothing super strange or wacky. Bases coming up for both players. Should be maybe a third coming up here pretty soon. If Curious wants to play similarly to how he did in the previous game. Okay, and here comes the Hellions again, so same build.
Yeah, would not be surprised to see Banshee follow up. Could see a Raven as well, but we'll see if... Oh, the double Widowmine. Will he get a medevac with this? Okay, so he gets the medevac, and who was it? It was like Innovation last night against, was it Sue or something? Yeah, it was against Sue. He reactored out 2 Widowmines really quickly, and then killed so many Overlords with them. Instead of like how sometimes you see Vikings chase on Overlords? 2 Widowmine hits kill an Overlord. So like Innovation literally chased like every Overlord that was on the map with the medevac in those. So that could be what we see here. Widowmine drops occur sometimes against Zerg as well.
Well, this is going to be the second set of Hellions coming out here for SpeCIaL. He'll fly the first two. The other ones get to run out second class. Here come the Widowmines, though. So the Widowmines are in the medevac.
It doesn't look like he's hunting Overlords at the moment.
Okay.
Just kind of going out maybe for a drop on the minerals. The Raven on the way. In the third base, that's the Foreigner location. Korean Zerg's really taken note of it lately.
Oh, is he going to pull? No! Oh my god, just barely. Oh. Loses one. The second one did not fire.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake. They clumped a little bit too closely, so
Unburrow
canceled.
Sick Unburrow.
That's a lot of queens.
Yeah, what is it? 5 queens in the front? Oh my god.
I really like this expansion location, the fact that you can go for lots of queens. This is going to be able to fend off all this harassment by SpeCIaL really, really well. By the way, SpeCIaL adding another barrack, so he will be going for more standard bio play here.
Tanks the Widowmine it with a queen. I'm sure that queen's not probably very happy about that, but he did save this Widowmine for a possibly great hit. Oh, doesn't target it. And we'll lose it. So great defense here by Curious. He's stabilized, 3 bases up, running. He's got a great drone count, and he's continuing to drone behind this. 5 more on the way.
Oh, he didn't clear this one. Look at that. Yeah. He's going to get like a really nice hit. Oh, geez.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, look at that. 4.
Yeah, not too bad. That Raven's still flying around, seeing what it can get done.
Auto turret.
Targets some drones here.
Oh, and he's elevatoring in here. 3 Hellions running through. Great lines of drones prepared. How many is he going to get? 8 down cumulatively. He saves everything.
Very nicely done by SpeCIaL so far, who does have his double E-Bays already going before the double Evos finish here for Curious. So definitely some good stuff in that regard as their command center finishes up.
+1/+1 stim on the way. Look at that, 11 drones dead.
Yeah, and you know, he's going to be pretty ready for this hatchery location as well. The first few times we saw this poke up in professional play, I felt like the Terran players weren't attacking these locations quite correctly. Like, for instance, we saw, who was it? Gumiho against a laser, right? Where Gumiho was like trying to do a standard like liberator-ish push towards it, and it just kind of didn't work. It was too wide open. But because he does like live in a house with the people like Laser and Scarlet who have done this quite often, I feel like SpeCIaL will know the way in which to attack this expansion location.
He's going to kill all the gas drones with that auto turret position as well. So 7 more taken down. Really cute double Raven play. And I want to know if SpeCIaL rather is going to do what he did in game number 1. He gets the early damage done, and then he just pulls back, and he stays back, and he macros up exactly enough to solidify a push. Because last time Curious just had no idea how to deal with that.
Well, he certainly has killed a lot of drones again at 18, and he's getting all of his upgrades, so I don't really expect him to be out too much. With double Ravens, he's already put a ton of money into harassment.
Well, he solidified himself on 3 base, and I feel like Terran on 3 base can just macro until his heart's content, get the 3/3 up, and then push out. But continuing this auto turret harass, wow, that's oh my god.
Jeez. I wish Oracles had auto turrets. Need a few more spells on those things.
Some men just want to watch other men die.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, Baneling Speed is here on the way. Infestation Pit about to finish, and looks like SpeCIaL getting ready to move out.
I think this is that push. Tons of Banelings already out. Queens, though, will have to be a little bit more respectful. 2 taken out. Whoa, that could have been dangerous friendly fire on that mine.
Yeah, that was very well done by Curious. Good splitting there of the Lings. SpeCIaL continuing to macro up. Hive just now starting.
He's going to kill more drones. He's got double Ravens coming back in for this, and he puts them in a protectable location. Won't get a lot, but will kill the gas drones there.
Yeah, the amount of harassment damage that these have done is actually really impressive. Yeah. Widowmine's on the way. 2-2 coming for both sides.
Baneling Speed just about to finish, and indeed there it will. So that might allow this to be defended a little bit more easily, but look at that, transfuses on point. Queen's trying to target down the medevacs, and they get 1. Everything else escapes.
SpeCIaL moving in with these Ravens once again. Looking for that damage non-stop.
This reminds me of that position by the 3rd base on Frost, where you can just keep dropping from over the ledge over and over again. And wow, taking out almost every queen there at the front. I think he's lost 4 by now. Oh my god, the banelings roll in, but none of that bio should die. It all gets picked up, and he's got another drop going in the main.
This drop in the main definitely has potentially quite a bit of damage. 2 mines even sitting here waiting.
Oh, he's going to kill the queen there as well?
You know,
won't quite get it.
When you're on only Ling Bane, it can be pretty tough to deal with a situation like this.
Yeah. He's just going to pick up and we'll run away. The mine gets another hit and see how good that is, and more auto turrets.
Yeah, and I mean, even if they're clearing out just Lings here, they're clearing out something.
That's some good Baneling connection. He's actually going to take out a decent amount of the bio, but still more survives, and there's just nothing left here for Curious.
Yeah,
he's got 46 army supply.
He's going to be able to cancel this 4th base, and it looks like SpeCIaL might 2-0 Curious.
Oh my god. Finally, a Foreigner able to take a series and advance on? I think we've been waiting, and I know different people predicted different things about the effectiveness of Foreigners in GSL, but I feel like we did, in fact, save what looks to be the best for last here, or at least a perfect situation for Major to succeed in. He certainly looks good so far. Doesn't pick off anything just yet, but his 2-2 is about to finish.
Yeah, well, he's about to be mining from 4 bases, and he's fighting against a only Zergling Bane Zerg that has 3 bases. That is not a winnable situation for Curious.
Oh my god, losing every queen there. He's even going to be able to kill Banelings before they roll into him. 2-2 completes, and he kills every Zergling.
Oh my. That Ultralisk Cavern sitting right there on the way.
Oh, he could cancel Adrenal there too.
Oh my god, that's huge. That's the only thing that lets him build units. You just got to build a lot of queens and infestors after that.
He's going to split against the Banelings, and there won't be anything else. Okay, well, those are pretty good connections. But more and more bio just being mass-produced.
Yeah. He's basically got it. I mean, there's no long-term units whatsoever. All that Curious has is good upgrades. Like, there's nothing else going for him right now. 2-2 and Adrenal is great, but you're not going to be able to beat this 4-base macro Terran that you haven't harassed at all.
No, not at all.
It's not going to occur.
And even if this push gets miraculously dealt with somehow, without Adrenal, without Ultras, without any of that, he's got a 4th base behind this, so just be macroing into infinity and beyond.
Against a Zerg player.
Indeed, a Zerg without all of that hive tech that he wants so dearly. He's going to be working on that chitinous plating, but if he ever gets the chance to use that, that'll truly be the miracle here. So more and more harass from those Ravens. GG Curious taps out. SpeCIaL 2-0s and is going to move on to our final match of the night.
Yeah, looking good. There is SpeCIaL, our first foreigner to win a match this season. So good job to him. And now he has to fight his good friend, TY, once again.
What a story emerging here tonight, Artosis.
Yes.
Somewhere a single tear sheds down Tastus' face, because these are just the sickest games ever. And for everyone watching out there, you kind of got a feel for Curious. He did get a very difficult couple of opponents to go up against, but this is our final match coming up next. Juan Lopez versus TY, his mentor, in our final match of the night.